sympathizers or supporters that we fought for APC no get the absolute power for deprive all the citizens for the representation of their leaders and the community. It's also not helping in broadening their membership base because it now looks like a circle of only if you know the APC, you cannot control APC. APC is a public institution. It belongs to the public. It belongs to the people of Australia. The worst they can do to this country is to turn their back against, the current composition of parliament, because we can even get law way to make life hard more for political parties and citizens. So with the presence of parliament, it will help to bring a lot of balance.
Hello, viewers. This is IRN, the Independent Radio Network, and say from Gbla TV online. And this now the special parliamentary talk show or the parliamentary spotlight, where they come to you regularly and we discuss issues and we get to do with the Salone Parliament, development, challenges, and way forward. This afternoon, we get a civil society activist who don't follow Parliament for almost the past 10 years. We only do research them and only move on issues that we get for do the Salone Parliament. And no less a person, but the Chief Executive Campaign for Human Rights Development International, with na CHRDI, with na Chadi, and the name na Abdul Fatouma. Welcome to IRN and Gbla TV Online Parliament Spotlight.
Thank you so much, and pleased for get this platform again.
Let me start. First of all, we see Usai the sixth Parliament don't start, and we see Usai member them of Parliament at the APC, almost 99.99% of them not agree for go take the oath, and they not go sit on our Parliament for carry on with activities of Parliament. Of course, we see one of them where now Honorable Mohamed Bangua in don't move away from party position and go take in seat, of course, take swear to the oath of office. As a civil society, first of all, give we perspective as to what you think about this development. Now the Salone Parliament, when the sixth Parliament, when they expect something like this?
Well, we've not been the expect. We've been the expect for let we get a corporation, a parliament, where we'll be the hope as a country for let we get members of political parties and also members of paramount chiefs, then where they can have parliament, for representing district them and also independent candidates. When we go into the election, I've got a hope and aspiration of the people of Sierra Leone for let they actually get a mixture of parliament because the one they've been there in for the proportional representation. They've been even propose say we were able to get minority groups them also for kind of parliament. So nobody know before see this. I strongly believe, but then we can wake up and be greeted by such a strong decision. By the way, all People's Congress get a right for make their own decision as how they want the party for represent, this country or the membership. But then again, there are also consideration for the best interest of the people and the interest of democracy. So if we can reach to a point, then say the best possible way for expressing dissatisfaction over the general election outcome. Now, for ensure that say, the boycott governance system at local council level, at city level, at district level, and also at national level, whether at parliamentary level, it becomes so much challenging, to democracy. And with that big challenge, definitely um, you need a dialogue within the membership within the state and see how best the cable for actually represent the people of this country because at whatever level they vote for them, they not vote for them through for representing membership. They vote for them for letting them represent the people of this country and this country. So each consideration any political party get, they get for first think about this country and the people of this country. And secondly, they now think about the members.
So, when they talk about challenges or when they talk about concerns them, where the All People's Congress raised just after the June 24th election, they talk about rigging, they talk about irregularities, not following due process, counting, tabulation, and other things. Them where even some international observers them being carried, some sentiment them where international observers them being carried, even on local election observers them being carried. You think say we look at all them concern them yaso and then put them forward say the electoral commission for Salone for looking inside the concerns them count the we then think say for count present the results by polling station and get everything clearly of course according to them transparently. You think so they get a case there?
You see, one thing about the request where all people's Congress make, every request where anybody they make, it come up from a heart and a mind. So first, you therefore consider and say if we are appropriate. Then the next other option is it reasonable? So you look at the appropriate of the request, then you look at the reasonability of the request. Some of the requests that they make is totally not reasonable. Reasonable in the sense that you cannot suggest as a democratic institutions like a political party for say we need for set up a new body we go look into the election and conduct a fresh election where parliament not the emotion. Definitely that's not reasonable because anybody where they organize any institution where they organize election or referendum at this country. Now only the constitution of this country will give that very authority, that mandate, then go make that election be legal and be appropriate. But otherwise, any other institution, either by through we set up through anger and emotion, it not get the legitimacy, for endorse you or declare you as a winner for governing state, or even a district, or even a local council. So if we not get parliament in motion, then you say, let we form a body. So how legitimize that body they will be? If we not get parliament in motion, then you say in 6 months, let me organize another election. Who is going to organize that election? Then what will happen within that 0 month to the 6 months where they propose? Are we going to have a transition government? And who do we think is going to actually run that transition government in the interest of the country? And if you ask that, say, let us sack Mr. Y, Mr. A, Mr. B, or Mr. XYZ, state institutions, would that then we go replace them with? And would that actually determine how then people and they will be replaced and be appointed or selected? If then people and they then can't one of them positions on them, that's through constitutional provision. So if we not get a constitution again, how do we intend to govern ourselves? So even run into that 6 months to get an election that will the outcome will be somebody will go govern with. So you look at the risks then, the unreasonability within them one another. And I think say, sincerely, don't put this country interest as as country where we all love. That particular positions are not reasonable.
So, talking about the people you center them inside this debate here. According to APC, then say now the people them tell them say they not go to parliament, they abstain from the leadership, from governance because the people them believe saying they cheat them, they thief them, vote them during the election. This na position or like an argument will come up from one APC member of parliament.
Well, the thing is that it's easy for them to say the people, it is easy to say the people. Like I said earlier on, even though the APC members or APC sympathizers or APC supporters voted for APC candidates there, either for Samra Kamara or all of the candidates that were standing. In the interest APC for we win this election and declare for govern this country, not to be the APC supporters, sympathizers, and more APC get for govern. APC will govern the people of this country and run the affairs of this country. So the one they will vote for them, they not vote for them, for let them only govern them. So if they want and the few of the members or sympathizers or supporters that will vote for APC, not get the absolute power for deprive all the citizens for the representation of their leaders and their community. Because their community, the way them people they have, they vote for them. They don't get 100% vote outright. So all the people then they will get a disagreement with them. We not agree for vote. But if they go to parliament, then get right for governing people then they. Because that's what the law say, and that's what the process say, which is democracy. So if they are members and they tell and say let them abstain and forget about the wider interest of the country, when they set up a political party for govern or for look into the affairs of this country, I mean, it's also not helping in broadening their membership base because it now looks like a circle of only if you know they like APC, you cannot control APC. APC is a public institution. It belongs to the public. It belongs to the people of Australia.
Okay, they come now to let's go inside parliament now. The parliament don't start. We not see the APC, but we see one of the member don't go take in seat when Honorable Muhammad Bangura. What does this mean for democracy? Of course, in they represent the APC now, elect the way our people in the CM, but inside the APC, then go see them as somebody who don't betray them cause, or then go even one for like disown them or whatever. As civil society point of view, how you view this?
Well, looking at this, the whole confusion there in the laws, you don't interview me several times, and I keep telling you to say with 1991 constitution, it's not good for democracy. The reason being is very clear now in Mohammed Bangoyan case. The law they will say the party get right for recall any member of parliament who belong to the party, we then believe say they don't go against the party, value, code of conduct, and other things. But then, with a hold up that say, you get for engage the speaker, and if you please the speaker. So in the interest where that interest of the party for recall that member, but it's not the interest of the parliamentary leadership. Where do you take it further? I mean, that's the roadblock for political party. And that is the roadblock the APC is facing now. So in that interest, they see that say, APC abstinence from participating in governance. Governance have not been held to hostage. We've seen the president making appointments, we've seen parliament, having their session, and then, they have set up committees. So pretty soon, when they get the next sitting, you will see then they go about for approved, people the way parliament, I mean the executive go appoint. And you will see them say they will set up a date, and let the president will go address and formally open, parliament. But if they withdraw, they actually make issue standstills. Governance is not moving. That would have been a impact something. They continue hold up and say remember then say remember then say, and then later on they can agree for go back parliament. Waiting them me say they no one for legitimize, then they can legitimize them later. So it just serves as the same thing I tell you that from the day on they start highlighting problems. But they keep compromising and moving and moving and moving and moving to the last day. So is it possible that there's going to be another compromise? That thing where they say they're not legitimized, and then therefore come gloriously and legitimize her and say, no, we move forward. And we move forward.
So we see, of course, in appointing the committee to see Musa Honorable Mohammed Bangua, of course, 91 day na the opposition aisle, of course, he get in seats day, and he also don't be appointed na the appointment committee and public service, where now one of the biggest committee then at the Salone Parliament. What is the try for show? Is it that this they should say in they represent the APC now in the eyes of the leadership of parliament, and it will be difficult for the APC for just come and flag them out because they believe say it don't go against the party?
Well, what in this they try for show? They try for give a different picture than what the APC and the APC members then believe. This is create a picture to the government that the opposition is represented. It doesn't matter how many people, but he's represented. Then the opposition is recognized, and this person happens to be part of the committees, and we're very relevant. And then we also present a picture of inclusion. That's even the opposition is included into the important and significant committees, and they actually create checks and balances in the governance system. So that is the picture that parliament is presenting, because you have a parliament, the two-party way going at parliament, and the members of the paramount chief MPs there, they are there, and each one of these three constituents are well represented. Well represented in the main. There's one person. So you cannot say zero to total. There is no opposition. So there is an opposition, one representative, and he happens to be the only one who complies with constitutional provision by taking an oath of, from parliament, and then occupies his seat.
From a civil society point of view, what you will advise, what will be solution towards this situation for the normalcy come back, something happen?
Well, we dey call on the APC members because APC say that the members we vote for them, say, and the people that will vote for them, we dey call on them and the interest. So we'll be able to get a balanced governance of this country. But as it is, the worst they can do to this country is to turn their back against, the current composition of parliament, because we can even get law way to make life hard more for political parties and citizens. So with the presence of parliament, it will help to bring a lot of balance, and fairness towards democratic process. But they abstaining, I don't think say it will be good for the democracy, it will make the democracy remain challenging. However, within them for know with their abstinence at the moment, see governance they still go on.
Okay. Thank you for talking to IRN and Gbla TV Online on this special program where na Salone Parliament Spotlight.
All right,
Thank you very
so
much, sir.
You're welcome.
Yes.